What's good, everybody? Welcome to episode 4, UNDS, aka Undeadstock, the sneaker show where we talk about people wearing sneakers and our experiences and how they really connect people all over the world. I'm your host, Ray Polanco Jr. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a very, very, very special guest today. My guy, Grammy Award Winning recording artist for 2020. Shout out to 1/3 of Major Lazer, one of the best performing acts on the planet. Doesn't matter what genre it is. My guy, Walshy Fire, coming live from Jamaica. What's good, sir? How are you?
I'm good, man. Wagwan. Yo, big up
Man,
everybody in the chat, man. I fucks with this. I like it, man. Yo, this is lit. I like it, man.
yeah,
It's dope.
the chat is live. We're trying to break a comment record. Last episode we did 1,300. So hopefully we break and shatter the comment record.
Nah, we break records. All we do is break records, man. Everybody out there, let's just start it right now. If you having a blessed day and you give it thanks for life, drop that fire emoji, man. Drop that fire emoji, man. Shout out to everybody out there in the world. Drop some flags, man. Let's do some flag shout outs, man. I want to know where everybody's
shout
from.
out where you from.
Especially, oh man, he got the red siren lit. Yo, more life, my brethren. Yo,
the chat is going crazy.
Man. Yeah, but where they from? Okay, I see my Dominicans is in here. Americans in here.
Strong. A lot of
New York City is in the building.
ATLians.
So anybody from Florida, man, you know that's where I'm from, man. You know I'm original 305, so you gotta shoot. You gotta shoot some guns in the air for Florida. Let me see: Knoxville, Tennessee, Oakland, Puerto Rico.
Checking in.
Yeah, Jersey. Big up to all the Caribbeans in the building, man. You know how we do, man. You from the Caribbean islands, man. I'm doing this for you every single day. Louisiana. Let me see, DC. Big up to all my Bamas out there in DC. Don't size me, bro.
I needed to see.
What we got here, man? It's crazy, man. Bronx in the building, Chicago, but out in the burbs. What's that, like Evanston, like north?
Chicago burbs.
Queens. Yeah,
not the south side.
Not the south or the west, man. The burbs, man. North side. Soho.
The chat is going crazy, and I think the chat is going to go even more crazier because the giveaway for episode 4. This is the most pairs we ever given away.
You told me, you told me before what it was. The chat, what they got to do for this, because it's gonna be the most lit chat once you find out what you about to give away.
So you guys see right here, the best sneaker of 2019, the Sakai Nike Waffle. And what we're doing something special today because we have a super special guest is we're not just giving away one pair, we're giving away 3 pairs.
3 pairs? Damn.
Whether you're large size, small size, whatever, just let us know what you are. Drop your size in the live chat right now. But Walshy, that's a really great question. What I like to do on this show is reward people for engaging. And I think that's something like you do really well on your shows is you want to make it interactive. It's not just about people watching you. It's about you engaging with the people and making them part of the show. And that's, usually what I love to do here on UNDS. It's so important because I'm not going to sit here and just have a conversation with myself, right? Like this live chat is super fire. So all you got to do to win a pair of the sneakers, because we usually announce 48 hours after the stream is over, all you got to do is just engage in the chat. Be part of the show. Ask Walshy some questions. Usually a lot of people try to ask this guy a million questions and he's always running around on stage. So we finally got him to stay put for a little bit. So definitely get those questions in. And Walshy, I kind of want you to, introduce yourself a little bit for people who may not be familiar or who are familiar, but you do so many things. So I would love for you to tell the people a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
All right, well, real quickly, man, everybody out there, salute to you. Big ups, much love and much respect. My name is Walshy Fire. I'm from Jamaica. I'm from Kingston City, and I grew up in Miami. So, that's the background, man. The main thing I do is perform in a group called Major Lazer. And of course, you guys know us for music and for touring. We just dropped a song a couple of days ago called Lay Your Head on Me. I would love if everybody out there went and checked it out. Of course, I also do my own music. I do a lot of Brazilian, a lot of Latin, Spanish, and a lot of Caribbean, English, dancehall and reggae type stuff. So you guys definitely check me out at Walshy Fire. I'm always doing some dope dancehall, reggae, and other things like that. And yeah, music, live, and then because we can't go anywhere, doing a lot of these streams, man. Somebody just asked, what does bumble clock mean? All right, so real quick, man, because this ain't gonna be a 30-minute one, man. We're gonna have to go longer. I want y'all to understand bumble clock is the best word that you probably don't even know. It's a great word when you're ready to tell somebody anything, good or bad. It's a great word for excitement. It's a great word if you stub your toe. It's a great word for whatever. But bomba is an ass, and clot is a cloth. So I know most of you guys out there might not have ever thought that there was a time when nobody had toilet paper, but your grandmother remembers that time. And so they used to wipe their ass with an actual cloth. And that cloth became known as a bumba ass clot cloth. And so calling somebody a bumba clot would have been a very disrespectful thing. And now we just use it for anything. Now it's just used for any word, anything. Yo, if something amazing happens, you go bumba clot. You know what I'm saying? But ask your granny about when there wasn't toilet paper. She'll tell you they used to use a cloth.
I love it. There goes your patois word of the day.
Yeah, man. Now we're gonna drop gems all day, man. We're gonna drop gems all day. But I definitely, I represent the Caribbean to the fullest, man. So everybody from the Caribbean, anytime you see me on stage or anytime you see me in an interview or anytime you see me dropping music, I do it really, really, really for y'all.
Yeah, this dude is all over the place. If you guys see on your screen right now, one of the most memorable moments I've ever seen in just music history is, when Cuba and United States reestablished diplomatic ties. Major Lazer were, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Walshy, but the first act to put on a show after that happened. And there was over like 400,000 people at that one show.
Yeah, it was crazy. Big up to Cuba, man. Que voila. Big up to all the Cubans, man. Shout out to them.
That's bananas. Like, for me, when I think about, sneakers and I think about music, I actually grew up in the Bronx in a Jamaican neighborhood right on Allerton and Olinville, right in the Bronx. So reggae music was always like my first love when it came to music, more so than, Dominican music or anything like that, because it was nothing but Jamaicans around me. And that's just like the culture that I grew up around. Right. So that showed me a different culture that I don't come from. And I gained so much respect for how people move, speak, the food, and all that stuff. And I feel like music is one of those things where, you can introduce somebody to it and you might make a new friend, you might make a new partner, you might make a new business partner just off of, sharing music or experiencing music together. And I feel like sneakers are very much the same way. For you guys in the live chat, that's actually how, Walshy and I actually formed a relationship. This dude really does sneakers for real. It's not like a celebrity thing. It's not a stylist thing. It's not a brand deal thing. This dude like really does sneakers. And back when I was living in Vegas, I actually was always doing a whole bunch of sneaker content. And Major Lazer had recently just got a residency over there in Vegas. And we just ended up linking up, just being mutual fans of like, what we did. And it's been a pleasure seeing you guys rock out at shows. And also, Walshy Fire is one of the only people I've used my sneakers app to help cop sneakers. So that lets you guys know that it's really real. It was the top 3 Air Jordan 1s I was able to cop for you. Didn't even get a pair for myself.
But facts. And low key, I turned around and sold them.
Hey, I appreciate you for being on it.
So I got a little tip jar for you.
No, it's all good.
I never leave nobody out. But it's crazy, man. For me growing up, sneakers was more important than your clothes. Sneakers was the only way that you could say to the world, yo, I got a little bit of something. Somebody would see you. I don't know about the rest of you guys out there, but in the South, especially in Miami, you could wear a white T-shirt every day with a wife beater under, and you were in style. No one could ever diss you. If you was a little bit more gangster, you wore a black tee. But no matter what, you didn't have to get the new basketball jersey. You didn't have to dress like, you didn't have to wear the new Rockaware or the new whatever was happening at the time. You didn't have to get the Coogee or the Iceberg. You could rock a white tee. But your sneakers, man, your sneakers was the way that you showed the world, yo, I'm here. No matter what my economic system is, I like to look and feel good. And, I like to represent myself when I step out. And so sneakers was the only way.
I feel that, being born and raised in Jamaica, and also, you know, growing up in Miami, what sneakers would you say, you know, because sneakers are regional. You go to different places and people love sneakers differently in different places. So in Jamaica, what's that it shoe? You know how like Air Force Ones are like the New Yorker shoe? What's that it shoe in Jamaica?
So Jamaica had everybody in the chat that knows what shoe Jamaicans wear. Could you please drop it in the chat right now? I need somebody to tell me. This is the most obvious thing, right? What shoe do Jamaicans Clarks? There it goes. Boom. Everybody knows Jamaicans wear Clarks, right?
Shout out to Chris.
Now that's not a sneaker. So a lot of people don't know that Jamaicans did actually have big time affection for certain sneakers. Those sneakers are now collector's items, as in like, I don't even know if they still make them or maybe they still make them, but you can't really get them like that. The number one sneaker for Jamaicans for a long, long, long time was Travel Fox.
Travel Fox.
Now, I might have to school some of you guys because there's a certain group of sneakers that are no longer like nobody even recognizes that they were a sneaker. But please believe me, especially if you grew up in the 90s and if you grew up in like a major Caribbean city like New York or Toronto, Miami, or in the UK, those four places, you know that the shoe that ran the place was Travel Fox. Everybody get on Google right now, look up Travel Fox, type in vintage Travel Fox. Those were the sneakers. The other sneakers were Diadora, British Knights, Elise, which I think came back like a couple years ago. Elise, I don't know how some people pronounce it.
They came back pretty strong.
Right. And then when we get into Miami, it was Etonics. Etonics was like, man, because the thing about all four of these sneakers are they came in colors. Now, I wish everybody could go back to the early 90s and really remember that's when sneakers in colors that didn't have a meaning started to really grow. So before that, in the 80s, you could really only get sneakers in blue. Well, it would be white with like blue, white with red, and then you could maybe get the shoe in black with white as like the trimming. And that was it. So you get into the 90s now, and people are starting to go, well, my team doesn't wear, my team's colors aren't red, or like my team's colors are yellow. So in the 90s, you'll see some Nike and Adidas start to make some yellow, some green. These other brands that I just named, because they weren't actually playing on a court, they were really just fashion sneakers. Like if you guys could look up Etonics, look up vintage Etonics. Etonics was the first shoe I ever saw come out in an all orange shoe. It was completely orange. Completely orange. You know what I'm saying?
Favorite color.
And that's my favorite color. So that's why I remember it that much, you know. Elise, you could get an all red pair of Elises. And that was like mind-blowing to walk past a store and see that on the shelf and be like, that's completely one color. It's not good. It's not, you know, it's not got the swoosh of some other color. It's all wrapped in one color. And, you know, if you were into
fashion at that moment for those styles, was it like music? Was it, you know, was it Hollywood? You know, what was kind of like the introduction to making
music, right? Because we weren't represented in Hollywood at all, but we could watch the Box. You know, a lot of people think that New York was the only place that had the Box. The Box was all over, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody who remembers that old TV show called The Box. You would pay to watch rap videos on it, you know? And in Miami, it was big. It was big, big, big. That's where I used to watch our Two Live Crew Move Something videos and hurry up and be looking back like this to see if mom and them coming around the corner, you know, because the TV was only in the one room. Ain't nobody have a TV in their bedroom. So if you want to watch Move Something and see some girls in bikinis on TV, you know everyone could possibly come around the corner and see that. So you pay,
Yeah.
you just watch. Of course, we wasn't paying. We hope somebody else paid for the video, but we watch it all day to wait for it to come on. But you'd also watch Eric B and Rakim. You'd watch Public Enemy, and that's where I think we started to adapt some of that New York fashion, like the British Knights, like the Bally sneakers. Bally sneakers in Miami, because I'm going to leave Jamaica now and go to Miami. Bally sneakers in Miami, that was real drug dealer business, man. That was big drug dealer.
Yeah. That was the luxury shoe right there.
Yeah, that was a luxury shoe. You knew that guy was a drug dealer or a pimp because you wore Bally's. So, we would see all of that in the New York videos, and yeah, man, beer things, it was vibes. But for me personally, if anybody out there in Miami, if I was to represent Miami, I would say that the only sneaker that really matters in Miami, and I know a lot of people in the chat, can give a complete thumbs down or a thumbs up if you vibe. I think most of the people in the chat might be from the Upper East Coast. I don't know. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but and like I said, thumbs up or thumbs down for the sneaker. I want to say, but in Miami, the ultimate sneaker was a pair of Reeboks.
Yeah,
and I don't want to say the kind because I know I might say it wrong. In Miami, we call them gangster Rees. That's actually what we call them, gangster Rees, man, gangster Reeboks, right? But I'm not talking about the 5411s, and I'm not talking about the other ones that kind of scoop up at the thing. Man, I might have to look it up. I'm talking about the ones that that had a thick sole around it, man. I might have to look this up real quick. But those were called gangster Reeboks, and man, they're just called Reebok Classics. But it's not the Reebok.
It was the Reebok workout shoe, just like the normal workout.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't want you. Oh, Club C85.
Yep.
All right, everybody look that up in the group chat and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if your city, fucked with these. But if you are from Florida, this is a thumbs up. This is a fire emoji. This is a horn. This is a gunshot in the air. This is all of that because those sneakers defined the entire 90s of Miami. And to this day, there are several stores in Miami that are really popular for sneakers, like Unknown, and there's another store called
you got Soulfly.
Soulfly, yeah. But Shoe Gallery.
Shoe Gallery, yep.
Shoe Gallery. Anytime these guys are making a shoe to represent Miami, this is the shoe, the Reebok Club 85. This is the shoe that they remake. This is the shoe. I think that guy named JJ Ound also made a pair of these. But this is the ultimate Miami shoe. This is the one that you wore with your Dickies outfit. This is the one that you wore with I think the reason why this shoe is our version of a New Yorker's Uptown or a Cali person's Cortez. The reason why this shoe was that shoe is because it was all inclusive. You was rich, you were poor, you could get a pair of these. And just like in New York, and just like I think in Cali, if you got the black pair, everyone stood back. You was not the one to fuck with. Nobody was gonna fight you. Nobody was going you was gonna rob people. You was the killer. Because the black ones was the ones that said, I don't care about nothing. Just like the black Air Forces. And I think just like how the black Cortez was for those respective cities. Black Reebok 85s were like, that guy's up to no good. If they were white, he had some Ralph Lauren on top with some Ralph Lauren shorts, and he was styling it. If they were black, nah, he had on a black tee and probably had a ski mask in his pocket. So you kind of
it's real similar in London. If you wear all black Air Maxes, that's kind of
that's a roadman thing. You a roadman. You don't know. You got to put on the hoodie. You got to, you wearing the tracksuit with the Air Max. What's it called again? The one that I see all the kids wear now in London. Man, I can't remember. So much.
Plus.
Yeah, Plus. Sorry, all black Plus.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or even what's the other one I see the gangsters wear over there, the all black Harachis. Like, oh man, you in
You know
trouble when those
what's
guys.
interesting? Where you talked about New York, Jamaica, Miami, LA, and you know with Major Lazer, I can't even name a country you guys haven't touched, right? In terms of
Yeah,
like
there's
touring
plenty.
and stuff like that. So I'm
Yeah.
curious, you know, like what city to you that you visited had beyond besides home and like you know the usual New York, LA, Miami spots, what was that one city or that one country that you've toured and you were just like the fashion here is like different level?
Well, I have to say Jamaica first, just because I think the world sees a Jamaican, knows they're Jamaican. Like, I think that's one of those places where the fashion is just next level. You
Very
know,
influential.
yeah, Mesh Marina, aka
Dior
string
just dropped
vest.
a marina in their latest collection. That's how influential
Nah,
Jamaica
nah,
is.
trust me, it's been all over. Alexander Wang did one of those mesh marinas. Gucci did a mesh marina. Salvatore Ferragamo did a mesh marina. Like, I've seen it over and over again, and maybe because I'm Jamaican, it's on my radar. But
Yep.
a lot of people have dropped it. You see a Jamaican and it's the way the rag in one pocket, the 1 foot, the one pants leg rolled up, the Clarks. It's like a whole thing, and the style, the kind of clothes that they wore at the time until now. Back then, it was Paco,
Yep.
Damage, used jeans, and a lot of these other brands, a lot of ripped up jeans and stuff like that. And then when it went forward into the 90s, into the late 90s with Iceberg and Coogee and things like that, and then now into the 2000s, when you start to get into everybody wearing a little bit more of the high end stuff, but even still with some of the streetwear, even when it comes down to Supreme, you see a Jamaican and you're like, yo, that guy's he's so dull on Jamaican. The other
They
place
just
in the
did a
world,
collaboration. Was it with Buju? They just did a collaboration recently with the reggae
yeah,
artist.
man. Yeah, like I
Totally.
see somebody said, Carl Kanai. Yo, Carl Kanai was a big deal. You know, yo, there's plenty of brands, yo, that when it was, like even Guess, people sleep on how popular Guess was. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
And
for
like,
sure.
yo, when somebody saw that little triangle on your jean, there's he spent mad
It was
money
official.
on them jeans. He was
Yeah, it was
official.
official.
You know, Guess was a major, major Caribbean brand. Rockaware, not. We didn't wear Rockaware at all in the Caribbean and not in Miami. Tommy Hilfiger, not really, because we used to look at Tommy Hilfiger like it was a knockoff Ralph Lauren. I did notice that a lot of when I went to Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to everybody that went to college in Georgia. I went to Clark Atlanta.
I love
But yeah,
Atlanta.
Kango hats, very Jamaican. But when I went to Clark Atlanta, that's when I started to see the Fat Farm and the Rockaware and those New York brands and stuff like that. But I was from Miami, so I would never have worn any of that. I never wore Echo Unlimited or anything like that. That was all, Fat Farm, Rockaware, and Echo. That was all whack. Same thing in Miami. Nobody in Miami ever wore an Air Force One. That was suicide.
Yeah, it was rare. A lot of people today, all over the country, wear Air Force Ones. It's a little bit more common with like the younger generation. And I do love that like you're talking about like different eras, 80s, 90s, 2000s, all this stuff. If you're in the live chat, definitely drop what year you were born so we can get about a better understanding of like
Yeah,
what era you come from.
yeah,
But
man.
that's really dope to
Woo, look
see.
at that. We got some 80s babies in here. All right,
Yeah,
so 80s babies. We can talk. 80s, yo, about 80s babies, we can talk. And y'all 90s people, big up to y'all too, man. Everybody born in the 2000, y'all just might have to learn a little bit today. But me, the 80s and the 90s people gonna chat. But yeah, if you can imagine, everybody that's not from New York, if
Yep.
in your city, you could never have worn a New York pair of sneakers like Air Force Ones, I need to see some fire emojis again, man. I'm sure it wasn't just Miami. Because in Miami, yo, you was getting jumped if you was wearing Air Force Ones. Like cats was using your book bag to choke you, man. Like they was like, yo, you looked crazy. You looked,
Yeah.
well, in Miami, we had these things called wannabes. And because the
Really?
hip hop was coming from New York, you would have a small circle of people that really wished that they were from New York and they didn't really respect the local scene. And so they would wear Air Force Ones, but always they would get beat up, man. They actually had a thing called New York Day in Miami. Yo, anybody from Miami, man, there's 2 other days, we could talk about it if you want to talk about it. It's just real. But, or we could just keep it PG and talk about New York Day. But New York Day was a real thing, man. If your accent was just a little bit, New Yorkish, and you was going to get, they would jump you. So New Yorkers, when they came to Miami, they would immediately lose their accent, and they would definitely not wear Timbs or Air Force Ones, because they would look weak to us. To us in Miami, it just looked like a weak person. It'd be like, you're trying to be this thing, and
Yeah,
you're not.
you know what's interesting is when my mom moved to Florida, I spent a couple years out there, and I definitely saw like everything you were talking about. There was cats that like literally would say they go to New York every single summer just because they kind of wanted that aura, and people from Florida weren't necessarily feeling that. And that kind of leads me to, this next topic I wanted to talk about is, culture is a really big thing, and it creates a lot of pride for people, and businesses tend to sometimes take advantage of cultural trends and things that people take seriously. Like you said, if you wear Air Force Ones in Florida at a certain point, people were beating you up and like, doing all this stuff because you weren't respecting, their region or like, things like that. So I really want to talk to you about, when is it, cultural appropriation, or when is it paying homage? So there's a post that you created on your Instagram because a few of the leakers showed a brand new Air Jordan that's about to drop, right? So team, if we can get that graphic with the Air Jordan up. So this is the Air Jordan 4 Rasta, and it's reportedly connected to the Jamaica Carnival, which was supposed to happen on April 16th. It got pushed back due to quarantine and, trying to keep everybody safe. But it's a huge celebration. I'm going to let Walshy talk a little bit about that. But in Walshy's post, he kind of wanted to get a better understanding if the shoe is actually related to Rasta culture, and why is it related to Rasta culture, and what Nike is doing to really show appreciation and proper homage instead of appropriation. So Walshy, I'm curious, like, can you talk to me a little bit about, what you think it takes for this particular release, if it was supposed to drop during Carnival? Like, what would Nike have to do to make sure that it is culturally appropriate and not appropriation?
Right. So I'm glad that we're going to talk about this. I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but yeah, everybody, if you go to my Instagram at Walshy Fire, I made a post about this, and that's something I never do. I never, ever, ever make a post about something like this. But I started to see it so much, man. And anybody in the chat, man, if y'all fuck with the kid, if y'all fuck with me, and if you fuck with original stuff, if you fuck with, giving credit and paying homage, then y'all will fuck with what I'm saying. If you don't really fuck with giving people credit or giving people homage or being inclusive, then you just won't fuck with what I'm saying, and that's all good. I still love you. I still fuck with you. But you see those sneakers, and if you like them or not is not the point. Whether they look good or not is not the point. The point is, somebody made those sneakers. Who is that person? And why did they decide that that was something that they wanted to make? Are those sneakers going to be called the Rastas? I don't know. Are they going to be called the Jamaica Carnivals? I don't know. They got pushback, so we don't have an official shoe in our hand to be like, yo, that's what it was called. But if you're going to do a shoe called the Rasta, which is a religion for everybody out there, it's just like calling the shoe the Muslim or calling the shoe the Jew, right? Is it only right that you at least do a survey, do some kind of get out in the streets and see if the people of that religion will be okay with you profiting? That's what we're talking about. Profiting, making money off of faith. Now, in my personal opinion, if these shoes are called the Rasta, I would like to know who decided that, because I don't want to say Nike's responsible. There has to be a person responsible. And I would like to know their story. I would like to know, are they of the Rasta faith? I would like to know, are they connected with the Rasta community? And I would like to know, when you call a shoe the Jew, the Muslim, the Rasta, do you give to that community in some form, shape, fashion? Do you give something to the people that you are appropriating on a shoe? If not, I got a problem.
I agree. I think a Polaroid here said that a lot of people in the United States may not realize that Rasta is a religion.
Yeah, and I realize that. Sorry to cut you off, Ray, and I realize that. So hopefully, my post or me even speaking here is a little bit of an education for those that when you see a person with dreadlocks, they're not necessarily, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a Rasta. And if you ever do get to meet a Rasta, you'll totally be like, yo, that was cool. I actually met a real person who believes that Emperor Selassie of Ethiopia is his God. And they believe in a Black African God. And that is just awesome. How cool is that? And so you'll start to realize that Rastafarianism kind of is a joke, or it's something that people laugh at or take for granted. They wear the Rasta wigs and they do all these jokey things that a lot of other religions are so well respected that nobody would do that. Nobody would go and do a Muslim like outfitty kind of joke, knowing that there's going to be Muslims that would definitely be offended and definitely be like, yo, my man, what are you really doing? There would be Jews, there'd be Christians that'd be like, yo, my man, what are you doing? Rastas are usually very much like, we see you, you do what you want to do. And they're not really aggressive, and they're not going to get online and attack and things like that. But I'm here and I'm connected to that community. So maybe I can be a voice of awareness and education and saying, guys, you just can't call a shoe a Rasta knowing that there are people out there that's their faith, that's what they believe in. What you want to do is you want to connect with the Rastafarian community. You want to make sure that you've done enough in that community that the community sees that you're supporting them and not just taking the name. And then the last part of what I was said in my post, and I'll say to you, Ray, is why not at very least collaborate with a Rastafarian creative? Why not get somebody who is an artist of the Rastafarian faith to make the Rasta shoe? Let's make it make sense. There was a shoe previous to this one, and it was called the Jamaica, right? And I've seen Nike do tons of Jamaican shoes. They've done tons of Dominican shoes. I don't know what it is about our culture that makes our culture so sellable for Nike. But man, every year they come out with a Jamaican shoe, with a Dominican shoe, with a Puerto Rican shoe. Every year.
I was gonna say that a little earlier. They've dropped a whole bunch of dunks and stuff like that. Nike didn't call them Rasta, but people give things nicknames, and it's very easy to tell what's Jamaican related or what's Rasta related, just from a color standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And I think that how you approach it is not to cut you off, but I think the way you approach it is a really great starting point, where you said you want to understand the person's story who said, let's do this shoe, and who activated the shoe, and stuff like that. I think that's the best point to start in. And when you hit me about that shoe, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I really want to make it a point to be able to connect you with Jordan Brand to be able to get those questions answered, because today a lot of people just kind of put up their pitchforks and run off of not having any information. And Jordan Brand didn't officially debut the shoe. It was kind of like an early leak from somebody who got a factory version or whatever the case is. But what you did is you sparked a conversation that allows a solution to be brought forth, as opposed to just burn down the whole brand, which I don't agree with. I think that
I don't agree with that either.
Yeah, Nike has done a lot of really great things, but there's also teachable moments. And like you said, Jamaica, West Indies, all that stuff are very sellable for Nike. And it would be great to see them put a little bit more effort in promoting the culture, not just the products.
And also, everybody in the chat, don't ever sleep on your ability to mobilize. If Nike were to cross the line and be like, man, fuck y'all Rastas. Fuck y'all. We don't give a fuck. We call it the Rasta, in whatever form that they were to say that, we are able for people to be like, yo, you know what? We're not Nike for I want to make sure everybody knows, man, power to the people is real, man. Power to the people is real. Guys out there, if you really, really, really feel passionate about something, now you know more than ever. You all in the chat, hopefully I'm inspiring somebody, or I'm actually talking to somebody that's already doing this. You guys that love sneakers in the chat, you now know you have the ability with just some groundwork to make your own sneaker. Yeah, you. You don't have to buy a Nike sneaker, nor do you have to go to Adidas because you don't fuck with Nike. You have the ability to come out with whatever your name is, sneaker. Ray can make his own sneaker. And that's what we talk about. It's not like a gap before where there were all these secrets on making sneakers and nobody knew how to make sneakers. Now the information is there, especially in this quarantine time. You got time to go online and find out and make some links and find out what machine makes a sneaker and find out who has the machine that makes a sneaker and designing your own sneaker and putting up a little money and going back and forth until you feel like you got a good design, and then going into the idea of what would it cost to press up a sneaker, even if it's just 50. If you got 50 friends and they love you and they support you, they'll buy your sneaker. And yo, all I'm saying is to everybody out there, the conversation is bigger than me saying, yo, Nike, what y'all doing? You come out with these sneakers, and I was going to tell you about the other sneaker, the Jamaican one. They actually had an artist, and I think she was from Korea, and she was a dope artist. And she was like, yo, this shoe, I was inspired by Jamaica, so I came out with this shoe, and I call it the Jamaica. It was a Nike, right? And I actually I wasn't mad at that, because at least I got to understand who the artist was. And therefore, if the artist went to Jamaica and she was influenced by Jamaica so much, she liked my culture so much that she decided to make a shoe, you know what? I'm all for it. I do then also ask, man, has Nike ever used a Jamaican to make a Jamaican shoe, and they drop a Jamaican shoe every year? I don't think so. So, I loved her collaboration, but I also then kind of poked Nike on Twitter and stuff like that. Like, hey, there's lots of Caribbean artists from these places that you're naming the shoe after. So if you have a Dominican shoe, every year I want to see a Dominican artist. You can make it a different Dominican artist every year. But every year you drop a Dominican Nike shoe, I would love to see a Dominican artist design that shoe. Why? Because that's how it should be. That's just how it should be. But anyways, man.
Shout out to Dominicans, because the past two Dominican shoes were designed by a Dominican designer. His name is CSP. And the last two Converse shoes designed by Dominican was the Puro Platano by yours truly.
And that was a fire sneaker. That was a fire sneaker. The streets went banana. The streets went platinos for those joints. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take it a step further. I know you're a super humble cat, but when you were talking about people who should be in the position to work with these kind of brands to really introduce the culture, let's be honest, you just won a Grammy for working with Coffee, who's the hottest thing out. You know what I'm saying? And that's major. Not only she a female, but the music is ridiculous. That the track you guys produced is called Taste.
Toast, man. What did Bob Clark do that money about? All right, so everybody out there, in case
it's 58 million plays. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. So for everybody out there, in case you don't know what song he's talking about, I'm gonna play. Oh, I gotta get on this thing. So everybody, you hear me a little bit different. This is the song I produced. This song. Yeah, man. So could you hear that?
58 million plays.
Yeah, man. So for everybody out there, if you don't know, I produced that toast in it and won a Grammy for it. And I give thanks, and I'm so blessed. And thank everybody out there that connects the sneakers to the music and have made that song the song that they walk around their city with, looking fly and looking fresh.
And so the reason I brought that up is not only just give you your props, but that's the formula that Nike or somebody needs to be able to put out product. You guys made great music, from the heart, from the soul, from the city, and easy layup to do it with coffee, with Walshy, just to really celebrate that.
Yeah, man. So I've actually got tons of collaboration ideas for everyone out there. If you're a little bit, if you consider yourself a creative person, you usually have a place that you put your creative ideas, whether it be you write them down in a book or you put them on your computer or on your phone, whatever the ideas are. And I actually have a physical book with all my sneaker drawings of collaborations that I want to do with sneaker companies. And last year, this is a fact. Everybody out there, please take this as a real person telling you this is the reality of my life. There's no reason why it can't be the reality of yours. Last year, at the end of 2018, I put 6 things on the wall that I wanted. And I'll just tell you 3 of them.
Walshy, real quick. Our boy Morphic in the live chat, he said, back to your headset audio. I like that much better.
Yeah, I'm back on the headset, man. I'm back on the headset, bro. Yeah, man. Awesome. Just make sure everything. I should sound better. I'm back on the headset. But yeah, man. What was I saying? Boom. What was I saying, champ? Oh yeah, man. So I wrote some stuff on the wall, and every single thing I wrote on the wall came through. Every single thing on the wall came through. And I mean, it was only 6 things, but it was major things. And one of them was to win a Grammy. Like, I remember, thinking to myself, like, am I reaching? And then I was like, I'm just gonna leave it on the wall. And every single thing I put on that wall has come through, and they're all amazing things. And none of them were small things. And some of them are really personal. But trust me when I tell you, they were all amazing, huge things, and they all happened. So this year on my wall is a sneaker collaboration. So hopefully this time next year, we'll redo this conversation and I'll be able to talk about that sneaker collaboration, man. That is a major thing that I want for us as a personal goal. Really important. Yeah, man. And if you guys know Walshy Fire, you know that my intention is always good. I give nothing but good energy. And so I put that intention to have my own sneaker and I have, because I've drawn the sneaker collaborations that I want, I have set that intention with certain brands. But that is a guarantee that I'm going to have a collaboration, whether it be through Major Lazer or through Walshy by itself. I'm going to have a collaboration sneaker.
Yeah, I'm putting positive vibes for you guys to do that as well. That's pretty big. If you do get,
and yes, Clark's would be the dream. Yeah, man. You know what it take. Oh, they know what it take. Yeah, man. So Clark's would be the one.
Quick question for you: if and when you guys get that collaboration, which DJ in the game would you give that shoe to kind of wear for their set? Like, who are the freshest DJs in your opinion in the game that you would give your collaboration or you give respect for their fashion game?
To be very honest with you, man, I mean Clark Kent, of course, right? Like he's the god.
Godfather.
Khaled, he's also like really into sneakers. But to be very honest with you, man, it's not about that for me. It's about who do I know has good energy, loves what they do, has that passion. And when they wear the sneaker that I make, people see that person and they go, that's a great person. And if that great person likes those shoes, then that must be a great pair of shoes. Clark Kent is one of those people, man. He's a great person, But, there's a lot of people out there that I think are into sneakers or are DJs that are into fashion, and they're not really great people. Their energy, man, when you get around them, you realize that my priorities and their priorities are totally different. I'm trying to represent the third world. I'm trying to help everybody out here who's looking for any advice on the come up. I'm trying to make sure. That's why you don't see no watch, you see no chain, You see nothing for me, because for me, and if anybody ever see my car, you know what I'm saying, you would see that I'm the kind of person, I understand I got too many people that need me. And I'm the first person in my family to even make a little bit of money. So how dare I go out and buy some crazy expensive watch or ring or something like that when I know that I have so many cousins, so many kids, so many people in my family that actually need every single dollar that I'm generating. And then all those people in my community that need me and need what I'm doing and need the dollars that I can generate for the community and do a lot of the charity and provide to charities. So I look at people in those lights, like for instance, Questlove. I look at Questlove in that light. What Questlove does as a DJ for the community and for the world, Questlove got to have a pair of my sneakers, so that when you see Questlove wear them and you go, man, what a great guy that was, or I'm sorry, what a great guy that is, you also look down at his shoe and you go, okay, well, great people represent great things. They represent greatness.
And I love that you're focusing on impact, because I'm getting a little bit of echo. You might have to echo you on your side a little bit.
Nah, I got you muted, bro. Yeah, man, you're muted.
Interesting. But yeah, I love that you're focusing on impact, because for me, it's more so about seeing what you do from a music perspective, seeing what you do as a person, the amount of love that you show people. You don't let the stage and the bright lights get to your head. You talk about your community a lot, your family, and all these things. And I think impact is, one of the things that will take you a super far distance. It's already taking you many places. You guys have almost 3 billion views on one song on YouTube. You got Grammys, you got all these blessings, and you're making so much impact, but you're still so mindful about your community, your people, yourself, and all these things. And really, that's what these cultures, whether it be music culture, sneaker culture, and all that stuff, it's really about not just making an impact for yourself, not being like the hottest person on the block, but making sure everybody else is taken care of around you and things like that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to invite you as a guest on this show, is because I want to foster this community of just like really dope people who simply just want to have a conversation about sneakers and really get to know one another and feel like this is a safe space for people to, learn about sneakers, learn about music, learn about gaming, learn about all these different, I like to call it connection points, because I never look at things like he's a musician, he's a sneakerhead, he's a
right.
And we all have different, how do you say, interest in so many different things. We're not just linear. You know what I mean? So I love that you really point to take it away from just, I want this guy to wear this because he's always wearing really dope kicks and clothes. I want this guy to wear it because he's a great person, or she's a great person. I think that's, super, super dope. And at the end of the day, it falls in line with what you do at Major Lazer. You guys, Peace is the Mission is like one of the dopest, album names I've ever heard. You know what I mean? Because you're using your platform for like literally peace. Like we need so much of it that, you know what I'm saying? Using your platform and all these blessings to really get this message out is really the reason why we have all these skills. You know what I'm saying?
So real quick, I'm muting my mic while you're speaking, just because if anybody out there's experiencing an echo, I don't know why when I took out my headphone set and back in, now it's getting an echo, but I just wanted to say, thank you. I really appreciate you having me. And that most importantly, hopefully what everybody takes away from this is that, again, great people represent great things. I make music. I feel like the music that I make is great. I do music for great people. I understand that I understand that a lot of people out there, they put out music with big budgets, right? That music has, it's got the biggest budget video. It's got da-da-da-da-da. And you know what I realized is that I could put out a song that's just a good song with good energy and a good positive message with no budget. And somehow, the good people find it. Somehow, the good people find it, and the good people share it to their network of good people. So if I put out a song that was like N-word, 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 and women ain't nothing but bitches and hoes. Those people find it. Those people find it. And that's why I never put out a record like that. I'll never put out a record with the N-word in it. I'll never put out a record calling a female something crazy, because I don't want those people to be my audience. I don't want, when I step out, those are the people that are saying what's up to me, and those are the people that are on my Twitter and everything like that. I don't like that energy at all. I don't represent that energy at all. I understand what it is to come from nothing and to actually have a little bit of something. And I know that that energy is not going to get the rest of the people that I want to get to where I'm at there. So then I look at the words that are positive and the energy that's positive, and every single time, the people that are just good people, somehow the algorithm of whatever that they have set up on YouTube and on Spotify, they find my music and they find the good music and I find the good music. And it's like, good people find good music. Good people make good music, you know? And so when it comes to my shoes and my clothes, I wear the designers that I love personally. This is another one. Please, everybody, support your friends. Support your friends.
Big one, yeah.
Yo, you don't understand how much your support means to them, no matter what they do. If they do art, like paint, if they do whatever creative thing they do, if they're an architect, whatever they do. But since we're here in a sneaker chat, and maybe I'll say fashion chat, yo, if you got friends that are doing fashion, making clothes, and dare they make a sneaker, do you know how bold and brazen that is to be like, yo, my name is Ray, and I made a sneaker called the Rays, you know, or called the Polancos. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you know how crazy that is? I gotta buy a pair. I have to buy a pair. Why? Because you did something that a lot of people dream of doing and never do. So support your friends. When your friends step to you with an idea, support them. Cash, support them. Because when that person blows up, trust me, they'll never forget what you've done for them, and they'll also help you. And everybody that you see that's made it, usually 9 times out of 10, they made it because they had a community of people that supported them when they were at their very, very beginning. So, yo, good people represent good things. I wear a lot of daily paper clothes. Why? Because I think those guys are great guys. I also buy a lot of Filling Pieces shoes. I don't know if you're familiar with Filling Pieces sneakers. You know,
definitely familiar with Filling Pieces.
But I purchase daily paper. I purchase Filling Pieces. I purchase Art Comes First. I purchase Brooklyn Circus. I purchase Bode, Bode. I purchase these people's clothes way before I'll buy a Gucci, way before I'll buy Prada. I purchase and support these people because I see them supporting my community. I see them supporting people that look like me. I see them and I meet them and I feel that energy and I go, yo, I can drop off my money for some people in Italy that I do not know at all and be so freshly fly in some Prada clothes, or I can drop my money off with you, who I can actually DM, call, have a drink with, and I see how genuinely amazing you are. And so that's where I'm at in life. I've actually put a lot of my old Gucci, Prada, and Nikes on eBay as I clean out my life, especially in this quarantine time. You end up looking at all these clothes and realize you got nowhere to wear them. You got nowhere to wear them. So what does this even mean anymore? What does this even mean anymore? Does this mean I could wear one pair of sneakers every day and feel great and not have to switch it up? I don't know. I like knowing that I have various sneakers, but now I question that. And now I say, yo, which ones are my absolute favorite? Because if you're not my absolute favorite and I can look at my sneakers and be like, yo, I have not worn those Jordans in a year, maybe it's time for me to really, really consider flushing, getting rid of the stuff that I just don't need or really even want to wear. So this quarantine time is a great time for self-reflection and a great time for self-healing and a great time for self-help. And like I said before, man, it's a blessing to be on this kind of a chat with you guys, and being able to even see the group chat is dope, man. Like I wish there was a moment that we could take questions from the group, from everybody out there, man. I'd love.
before we and I do appreciate all the positive vibrations that you bring. The chat was loving it. I think you really inspire people. You dropped in a lot of knowledge, a lot of history.
Sorry, let me turn off the echo. Sorry.
That's like it. This is something that I know you for, and it's cool that people can see who you are as a person behind the Walshy Fire name, and what they see on Instagram. But what I do want to do is, before we take, if you guys want to drop some live Q&As for Walshy before he gets out of here, super busy dude, he has a lot to handle. So while we get the live chat asking you some questions, quick question for you. I'm building a playlist for the UNDS Show, and I'm asking every single guest to contribute 2 vibes to put on the playlist. So if there's 2 songs that you would put on the UNDS playlist, which one would that be? Oh, you on mute right now.
And you mean not my songs, right? You just mean in general?
It could be any songs. Any songs. I'm not putting restrictions.
Okay, I'm sorry. I hope everybody doesn't think this is super cheesy, but of course, I'm gonna have to say Slum Village, Fall in Love. I hope everybody doesn't think that's super cheesy. Slum Village, Fall in Love is just one of my all-time, man, it give you that feeling in your soul, man. It give you that energy in your soul. It feel like you're about to start a whole bridge building connection with another person, even if there's no other person in your space. You just feel like, yo, I need to go out and connect with humans. Once I hear that J Dilla beat and the Slum Village over it, you know what I'm saying? I get that energy, man. And another one that I know a lot of people out there would most likely say they've never heard, but hopefully after you hear this, you'll not only enjoy this song, but enjoy the rest of this guy's music. The band is called Midnight, Midnite. And the song is called Same Boat We. Actually, okay. I think I'm going to make it one of my tattoos. But I want everyone out there to go listen to this song, Same Boat We. It's a reggae song, but it's one of those reggae songs, man, that if you needed to cry a little bit, if you needed to get something out of your system, if you needed to get something that's been bothering you, man, and you just wanted to release that energy, play this song and put it against your chest, man. And you'll understand you're not alone. You're not alone. And there's no better feeling knowing that somebody out there gives a fuck about you, loves you, appreciates you. I'm one of those people. This song makes me feel like the guy that sings this song. His name is Benjamin Vaughn. He passed away about 2 or 3 months ago. He died about 2 or 3 months ago from an illness. And I want you guys to understand his music, to me, is mystical. It's a mystical vibration. It's a deep vibration, man. It's one of those things like when you watch the water drop on a piece of water and you see it go out, it's one of those really far out waves, man. And it hits you. I
can tell the way you speak about it, like you're really passionate about.
Yeah, man. Well, music I'm passionate about overall. I love music. So those are my 2 songs I'd love for you guys to add to the list.
I love you. I love that. That's super dope. I also got love for you too. So real quick before you get out of here, we got first.
I'm a tourist.
There you go. Anaya Lee, you give her a shout out. The whole chat, she's been saying she's a super huge fan. She loves you. Definitely give Anaya Lee a shout out if you can.
Yeah, man, Anaya Lee, big up yourself, man. Much love and much respect. I know already. I just love.
And so first question is, forgive me, I forget who asked it, but what artists that you haven't collaborated with yet that you would love to collaborate with next?
Most Def.
Ooh.
Yeah, Yasin Bey.
Major. And he can give it to you all different types.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I got an ill idea that I need to put that on my wall. Don't have people? I need to put Yasin Bey on the wall so that everybody knows that's the vibration. he will give me the ill reggae hip hop chat vibes, man. And that's why I think that's my guy that I'd love to collaborate.
His
and to everybody that's born in the 2000s, definitely go check him out. His older stuff, he'll be under the name Most Def. You're gonna like his music.
Fire. And then the last question that we had for you is, you spoke about designing your sneaker. So what is the primary color that you would use on the sneaker that you want to design?
I stated earlier that orange is my favorite color, but I don't know if I would make an orange sneaker. But because that is my favorite color, I would say most likely that would be the primary color on my sneaker. I don't want to give away too much though, man. Let me tell you something. I got some crazy ideas, man. Ray, we can take a couple more questions if we got time. We ain't got to rush. I just wanted to know earlier how long it was going to take. But yeah,
I'm at the crib.
An orange pair of Wallabies would be dope, but I got something crazy I would do with a pair of Wallabies, trust
me. Yo, Walshy's open for a couple more questions, so feel free to drop it in real quick.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Wally's always got to be highs for me. For me personally, I love the high top Wally's, man. When it's high or lows, I pick the highs every time.
Say J.E. Mejia says, what's your current favorite pair of sneakers right now?
My current favorite pair of sneakers. I know this is going to be so, like, I know this is a crowd of people that, their sneaker game is like crazy. So, you always got to be like, man, what should I say? But I still love Adidas Gazelles. Like, Adidas Gazelles to me are just like the ultimate anytime, any outfit, everything shoe. Like, I just love that shoe there. And I have like five.
You had like a blue suede pair, yeah?
Bro, I got the blue suede.
Yeah.
I got the gray suede.
Always. Yeah.
I wore the blue suede like it was the only pair of shoes I had. Then I wore the red suede like it was the only pair I had. Then I wore the gray suede like it was the only pair I had. If anybody out there can even just go through my Instagram feed, you'll see me wearing Adidas Gazelle suede almost more than any other sneaker. Track jacket or a military jacket, those are my two like go-to jackets. And I love the way that the Gazelles look in a track jacket or a military jacket. Like, I just love how it looked. I also want to give a shout out to Palladium. I really wore the hell out of my Palladiums, man. Like, I loved wearing those shoes on stage. And then I also got to give a special shout out to Camper. Camper came out with a pair of shoes that had a bungee cord.
I remember this.
Yeah, man. Yo, they had a bungee cord. It was a cream suede, blue middle, silver 3M highlights with little pink strikes. Crazy shoe, and a black and white bungee cord. Yo, I wore those shoes till they fell apart. Camper, please give me another pair of those shoes. I've been looking online for another pair of those shoes.
My guy, those are the shoes that I love. He knows exactly what you're talking about in the chat.
Yeah,
that's
man.
fire.
Yeah, man.
I remember the first time I checked out your party in Miami when you invited me at Taco, I believe.
Yeah, man.
You were wearing the Campers.
Yeah, man. And they fell apart that night. They actually broke that night. Yeah, man. They broke that night, man. I jumped off the turntables and landed on something, and like this air. Yeah, it was just air, with like little plastic in between, and it cracked, and that was the end of that. But trust me, Google those sneakers. I love those sneakers. The Palladiums, I had them in blue and in black, all blue, all black, fire shoes. My all-time favorite shoe is still the Air Max 95, though. Like, that's just the shoe. And the reason why the Air Max 95 original is my favorite shoe is because it's the first shoe I bought and saved up for and spent. At the time in 1995, they were, I think, $150, $160, something like that. And I just remember saving up all my money, all my money. I literally, so for everybody that might remember me in Miami, I used to stand in the street and I used to sell cassette tapes. And so, you'd have like your four-way lights. I used to stand in the street with a big radio and I used to sell cassette tapes. And so basically I would burn like Rakim, I would burn like Tribe Called Quest, and I would burn like a lot of dance hall and stuff like that. And I would walk around with the boombox on my shoulder, and I would, and I would sell tapes. I'd walk up to your window, and I'd be like, yo, these are the tapes I got, and I sell them for $5 each. And I just remember that was the shoe that I was like, yo, I'm not gonna. I used to buy a lot of people's, but this was like kind of like when eBay was just starting, but not really. And so a lot of my drug dealer friends, they would get the Air Max 95, or they would get like a shoe, like a Jordan. And then they would wear it, and then they would move on. And then, because I was around them, might be able to get that shoe, and it wouldn't be my size. I wear size 12, so it wouldn't be my size, but who cared, right? You just take out the sole, and you just rock the shoe. Or I would buy them off of them. You know, you spend like $50 and you get like a pretty scuffed up pair of Jordans, or, you know, whatever, but it was okay because, it was Jordan still, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm from the projects, and I'm from an area in Miami called Carroll City. And I know that a lot of people out there might have heard Carroll City because Rick Ross is also from Carroll City. Gunplay is from Carroll City. A lot of rappers come from Carroll City, but it's real there. It's really real, you know? And so, you also could, get murdered for your sneakers and stuff like that. And so I would also kind of wear like the scuffed up ones a little bit, because most of the time cats wouldn't really murder you. They wouldn't really jump you or take those. It really had to be crisp. But these were the first pair of shoes that I was like, yo, Air Max 95, I'm going to get them as they come out. And that's why that's still to this day, I have a pair in the closet that I really, really love to wear, and I really love to look at, because to me, they signified a turn in my life of wearing hand-me-down sneakers and sneakers that, I have 12 siblings. I have 11 siblings. I'm the 12th one. My dad had 12 kids. So, you end up getting a lot of these other hand-me-downs. This was like the first shoe that I was like, yo, this is my shoe.
That's amazing. You answered the question before I even got to ask it. I always ask guests what sneaker you literally just talked about it on your own. I love that. Like the Air Max 95. People in the chat were just like, yo, deep story. You can just kind of see.
Yeah, man. I got a lot of passion, man, just in general, man. But my memory is really good, and I understand. To anybody out there that's like struggling, I understand the struggle, and I hopefully like everybody can kind of see that I relate to the struggle, and I understand what it is to really, like, when I see people standing in line for a sneaker, I know how much that might mean to some of them. I know some of them, they're just doing it for whatever reasons, to resell or whatever. But I know there's a couple people, and even the resellers, got to give props to them, because they can really make somebody feel so good when they sell them that pair of sneaker that they got. So I understand what it is to work hard and save up and to get that first pair of sneakers that you're just like, yo, I'll die for this. Yo, somebody gonna have to knock me out these sneakers before I give them up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like these questions, man. Let's get some more questions before we get out of here.
I love that. Yeah, Walshy is pushing us into overtime. I love it. For sticking with us, everybody. Walshy, thank you for sticking with us. Let's give Walshy two more questions. Definitely interested in what you guys got to say.
All right. You pull the questions, man.
This is a good question. People who may not know. How did you end up meeting Major Lazer?
Well, Diplo's from Florida.
Yep.
So we knew each other before. I used to play a sound system called Black Chinese, like a dancehall sound. And he was a fan of that. So we knew each other way before Major Lazer, just as friends.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. You were doing his thing, and like you guys just made that connection, felt that vibration from each other. Been rocking for how many years? Like 9, 10?
Yeah, man. Been about 9 years with Major Lazer, but we've been friends for about 12 or 13.
That's amazing. That's crazy how one connection can take you so far.
Yeah, man.
Collaboration is so dope. With people, brands, collaboration is the vibe. So last question, Nate Frost says, how many instruments do you play?
I only play the turntable, man. Yeah, I only play the turntable. Trust me, I wish my mom You know, my mom worked 16 hours, man, and we were pretty much led to our own, you know, outsideness. Like, yo, the streets was just what we did, and nobody in my neighborhood had an instrument. So I wish somebody did have an instrument in my neighborhood. But yeah, man, let me see. Best rapper right now. Who's the best rapper right now, Ray? I mean, you got to say, like, man, I'm old school, but I really fuck with what, no, but not the guy that Jay-Z collaborated with just now. What's it called? Jay Electronica. I really fuck with that. I'm a big J. Cole fan. I even like Roddy Ricch, man. You know, I don't agree with the whole N word and Crip and all that stuff. I totally think that that's like played out, and I think that that's an energy that a lot of the kids are going to be like, yo, I believe that the day is going to come when our kids are going to be like, you guys joined like gangs and wore colors. Like, they're going to look at us like, man, y'all were so whack. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, none of you guys really like, you know, like thought like, yeah, like thought like, yo, twisted my fingers is super corny. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we're coming out of that era of energy, and we're going to enter a new era of energy, and whatever that is, you know, let's ride with it, man. But I think that the consciousness is raising, and I think that as we end this quarantine time, man, everybody get your mind together, get to you know, really put your own self in perspective. Now's the time to self-reflect, and we're not going to be the same people that we were just a month ago. And if you are, man, sad for you, shame for you. Hopefully you're not, because every single day you should be evolving. Every single day you should be growing. Every single day you should be trying to do something new. Maybe I will learn an instrument during this time, right? Because that's exactly what this is about, right? Learn a language, learn to do something that you've had back in the corner of your mind that you don't want to work on. This is a great time to step forward and into the future. You don't want to get left behind. You don't want to be a person that everybody goes, man, you're so March 2020, you know, because that's the cutoff date, right? Everything from April on is going to be technical. You know, when I say technical, I mean like technology. It's going to be futuristic. And, you know, yeah, you want to challenge, change, and grow. You don't want to be that same person. And yo, shout out to the Pokemon Go team. I love that. But yeah, you don't want to be that same person that you were just a month ago. You know, you want to be a whole new person. And so whatever it is that you used to do, if you used to be the kind of person that was repping some street gang and throwing your fingers in the air, because for some reason you needed that protection. You live in a neighborhood where you needed to say gang, gang, because you couldn't stand on your own 2 feet. And I understand what that is. I understand that guns really do kill people. And if you need other people with guns around you to make sure that you don't die, totally understand it. Hopefully, though, you'll come out of this and you'll start to realize, like, yo, you're your own man. Make your own decisions. You have no boss over your life. Once you're an adult, especially, like, you know, so be conscious and love this life, man, and be a kind of person that goes forward with the kind of energy that you would want to receive. And everybody, we're going to get so rich and so happy and so healthy this quarantine, man. My Aunt Cher, she died 5 days ago from Corona. I know that a lot of you guys out there have been affected. Yeah, man, my Aunt Cher, she passed, and I'm feeling it. We can't even have a proper funeral for her. And I totally understand that you guys out there are probably being just touched as much as I am with this Corona thing. So take it very serious and take life very serious, man. I hope you guys are all out there appreciating the family and friends, because here's one thing that's for sure. If you ain't heard from somebody that you used to hear a lot from pre-quarantine, that's not somebody that you should probably bring into the new part of your life.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's just what it is.
I think you're absolutely right on that. If one thing I love to do that you may not know that you contributed to my overall mood and positivity on a weekly basis. So I listen to Major Lazer live sets on YouTube. I tune into every time you guys did your radio show music, which is still up on Apple Music, Laser Sound Radio, Walshy, selecting all the vibes. I usually tune to those radio shows on Sundays. And it always turns the energy up. Right. Surround yourself with positive, great music, great people, and you know that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Great people, great conversation. Walshy, I appreciate you for stopping by, brother. You are a person, you know, RIP to Auntie and your family continues to stay safe. Hope everybody's good. Everybody in the live chat, rock with me over time. And we got some really good stuff to talk about in the show. We're going to talk about Animal Crossing. Walshy, much respect. Thank you so much. The live chat was crazy,
man. Crazy. Yeah, man. And I'd love to just leave by saying to everybody, love this life, man. Check up on people that you love. You got some old grudges that need to get squashed, just squash them. But also evaluate your life right now and really look at the people that are in your circle. Look at your mom, look at your sister, look at your actual friends. See who you're connecting with on an every single day basis. And when you step back outside, those people that you haven't been connecting with are the ones that are standing outside waiting on you. They'll just walk right past them, man. This is a time that you're really going to see who's real, who really gives a fuck about you, and who don't. Life is way too short. Check on those people that you love, and really, as we say in Jamaica, who's checking on you. You know what I'm saying? And much love to everybody out there. Please stay safe, healthy. I'm gonna leave y'all a picture of my Aunt Cher. Hopefully, you guys can see this. You know what I'm saying? That's my Aunt Cher. If you guys don't know how real coronavirus is, hopefully you realize that it is very, very, very real. It's very real. It's affected a lot of people. And this was one of the sweetest women I ever met in my life, man. I love her more than anything in the world. So hopefully you guys are also going to be able to go through this without any losses. But if you need to talk to me, I'm here. At me at Walshy Fire. If you want to talk about sneakers, you want to talk about music, if you got a brand that you want somebody like myself to wear because you like my energy, I'm not saying I'll wear your brand immediately. I'll want to meet you and know you and like your energy as well. I don't want to represent something that's not greatness. Great people represent great brands. I'm all about greatness. So if you want to reach out to me for anything, go on my Instagram, DM me. I'm here for the rest of the night. I'm going to eat some dinner, but I'll go through my DMs and I'll check and chat with you guys for sure. And we'll keep the conversation. Anything I said, we'll keep the conversation going. All right. Much love to you, Ray. Dale. Big up to everybody out there that's representing what they represent. Hopefully we broke that record today, man. And much respect. One love.
Hey, I'll let you know about the record once we get done with the show. Take it easy, bro.
Yeah, man. Big up.
So, live chat. We're gonna get into a really cool part of the show where caffeine represents the intersection between gaming, music, fashion, and culture, right? So we're gonna cut straight to Animal Crossing because the Animal Crossing New Horizons game just did something super, super, super dope with their game that they just released on March 20th. And it's really been a streetwear and sneaker culture takeover. If you check Target, Best Buy, or anything like that, fire outfit of the day. Yeah, they got fire outfits in this new Animal Crossing game. But if you check Best Buy, Target, Nintendo Switch is all sold out. So Nintendo just dropped a new Animal Crossing game, and they make your outfits super customizable. As you can see, there's accounts dedicated to the fashion at Animal Crossing Fashion Archive and at Animal CrossFits. You see dudes pull up with the Off-White, the Human Made, Gucci. You got the Dior Soriyama collaboration. You got Rude popping off, Fragment, Human Made again. You got Louis Vuitton. You got the picture of Virgil in the room. Like, this game is crazy. And literally because of quarantine and nobody has anything else to do outside, everybody's just copping Nintendo Switches and getting this game. So I thought this was really, really cool because, this is exactly the reason why this show exists. Is it's not just about gamers. It's not just about sneakerheads. We're all really one person. And to be able to show everybody in the world how our interests come together at a moment like this is bananas. Does anybody in the live chat have Animal Crossing and a Nintendo Switch? I tried to cop, but it was all sold out. Leslie has it. Penelope doesn't have it. Andrew Chung, no Nintendo Switch. Yo, Caffeine, we gotta get over a Nintendo Switch. I might have to start streaming some Animal Crossing. Yeah, all the Switches are sold out. I got a Nintendo Switch, but didn't buy Animal Crossing. Yeah, you need to try to get Animal Crossing because it's pretty fire. So yeah, what do you guys think about these outfits? Would this make you would this make you buy Animal Crossing to be able to customize your outfits, or how do you feel about being able to incorporate your favorite streetwear and sneaker fashion sense into a game that's, really a a Nintendo version of Sims? You know what I'm saying? P Quib says it makes her want to buy the game even more. Salute. I'm pretty sure like Animal Crossing didn't expect the streetwear culture to mess with the game this hard, but shout out to them. That's like a really cool thing. When I follow the pages, Animal CrossFits and the other one that I mentioned, like I couldn't believe that people were sitting there and designing their whole wardrobes. And Hypebeast even made like a lookbook for them. Hypebae made a fashion editorial for Animal Crossing. It's been absolutely bananas. And I got some really good content for you guys. Like I said, we're running on overtime. Walshy Fire literally had the chat on fire, and you guys heard a lot of stories, a lot of inspiration. That was like one of the most enthusiastic guests I've ever seen on any show. And you guys got to see it here. Like, to be able to see this guy perform on these stages and then also have the relationship where we can just talk about real stuff, is cool that he was able to be just as personal with you guys. So you guys got to see a version of Walshy Fire that most people don't get to see. And that's what UNDS is about. Like, talking about wearing sneakers really creates this natural conversation that makes people never want to leave the chat. So shout out to you guys. Now, we spoke about gaming in terms of Nintendo and what they're doing with Animal Crossing, right? We're going to stay in the technological space. And when it comes to legit checking, which is a really big issue in sneaker culture, a lot of people buy fakes, a lot of fakes are made, and sometimes people don't know how to tell the difference between a real shoe or a fake shoe. So this new company designed a technology that allows you to use it and figure out if your sneakers are fake. And the technology uses AI to be able to determine if your sneakers are fake or not. So check this out with me. Let me know what you guys think. Would you use this technology to try to legit check your shoes? Do you think that this is the future of legit checking sneakers? This app and this technology company are also trying to use this for luxury bags as well. I mean, everything is being converted into an app and, computer based. So I feel like this is the future, but I'm curious from you guys, like, is this something that you would pay for and use when purchasing sneakers? What do you think? Leslie says luxury bags would definitely be a good one to use this for. Dre says we'll possibly give it a try. Yeah, I think that that's the best thing we can do is give it a try, right? Like right now, the only way to legit check something is to bring it to your friend or bring it to a resale shop and hope that they're right. So the only, I guess, thing that might mess up the technology is that the factories Nike uses, Adidas uses, Reebok uses, all the other brands, they don't make sneakers exactly the same. Sometimes the cut is off, sometimes there's extra glue, sometimes there's different defects and stuff like that. You saw that a lot with the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1. So I'm curious if this technology will be able to detect if it's still a real shoe but just has like a defect. I think that's going to be a big part of figuring out that technology. Kick says they would give it a try. What about smell detection for fakes? I don't know. I've never smelled a fake shoe, so I don't know if you can tell a real shoe or a fake shoe based on how it smells. That was interesting. The manufacturers will have to support it. So this is what I will say, and I'd say this every single time, especially when we talk about StockX, GOAT, or anybody else. Nike, Adidas, Reebok, as soon as those sneakers leave their fulfillment centers and distribution centers, they cannot guarantee the authenticity of anything. Nike has trouble even authenticating their own things. So it's just like a really great area to play in for this technological company, because if the app gets one single pair wrong, it's going to be like, so how many did it really get wrong or right? You know what I mean? So hopefully, Alvin says it's good for the sneaker culture. I agree. hopefully it's a good starting point and we get to a point where it'll be even better in the future. So we're in 2020 right now with this type of technology debuting. Hopefully by 2030, it'll be sound, safe, and just easier for people to cop sneakers. You know what I'm saying? The live chat is going nuts today, and I love it. I'm pretty sure by now we probably beat our record. But like I said, with the Nike Sacai waffle giveaway, everybody who's engaged, listen, I get a full list of everybody who was in the stream right after the stream is over. We go cross-reference your comment on my Instagram. We check all the comments in the chat, and then we put all the names in a raffle and stuff like that. And I think next week I'm going to debut a optional method to gain an extra entry into the giveaway to give you better chances as well, because I want to make sure that we always give it to real people. If you check like the UNDS story, anytime a profile follows us with like 0 posts, no profile photo, and it just looks sketchy, we're going to put them on blast and let them know that you already took the L. So might as well just unfollow right there. So I hope you guys appreciate that. We're trying to give the giveaways to real people who are in the chat. So, you know what I mean? So when we do announce, you already know that you've seen them in the chat, you've seen them in the Discord, and it went to a community member, not somebody just trying to get free shoes to resell. So, yep, smash 2419. You definitely saw the blast. Now, again, I'm running through the show just because we're on overtime. I appreciate you guys trying to get through the show to give you guys that quality content that I care so much about. So the next topic I really wanted to bring up is something super, super, super fun. And it's going to kind of change my streaming schedule this week. You guys usually know that I do my quarantine streams on the weekends, right? Now, the NBA players and ESPN just got together to host a 2K tournament where it's only NBA players playing. You have Kevin Durant, Trae Young, Hassan Whiteside, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, my guy D-Book. They're all going to get together and play a tournament against each other tomorrow. Now, go to the ESPN website or their Instagram. You can get all the info on like when it drops tomorrow. But I'm thinking about doing a live watch party to check out these games on ESPN. KD versus Donovan Mitchell, I think is going to be super dope. You know, we have a lot of unfortunate things going on with this quarantine, but this is one of the blessings. We actually do get to see our favorite NBA players play 2K and see if their skills translate, and let's see who takes the dub. Would you guys be interested in me doing like a live broadcast, a live watch party tomorrow here on Caffeine, and we all watch it together? What do you guys think? We did it for the Air Max documentary, and I know a lot of people were hyped about that. I thought it was really dope. So yeah, I'll definitely plan it out. I'll announce it on Instagram probably tonight and tomorrow morning. So definitely. Dave says his phone died when I was talking about the Nike Sacai waffle giveaway. I'll mention it one more time before we close out the show. So you definitely didn't miss out. Just make sure you stay engaged and definitely get a charger. So the next topic I wanted to talk about, and shout out to today's kombucha flavor, my favorite flavor. This is Trilogy, my favorite kombucha flavor. If you guys mess with kombucha, definitely drop your favorite flavor in the live chat. Wavy D still yet to try kombucha. I don't know what you're waiting for, sir. But definitely try some kombucha. Water is amazing. Kombucha is also fire, though. So if you guys are subscribed to Caffeine, which everybody in the live chat is, you guys also know that Offset does his thing here on Caffeine. And he really loves sneakers. I would love to have him as a guest one day. We're trying to set that up. But over the week, rapper Jim Jones from the legendary group Dipset got on his Instagram Live with Offset to kind of talk about sneakers, show their collection a little bit. And Offset actually talked about, you know, a way that he gets his sneakers cheaper than what most celebrities get charged for getting like exclusive stuff like Air Jordan 4s and all that stuff. So Caffeine team, let's roll the clip with Offset and let me know what you guys think about how Offset gets his sneakers for cheaper.
I got eyes. I see I ain't burning up. We gonna do a sneaker vlog or do a sneaker show, you spending 30, 40. Like, come on. Nah, I'm tricking this, man. I ain't going for that. Man, come on in.
Yo, Jim Jones is hilarious, and Offset is hilarious. I could watch them on live all day.
For a pair of these shoes, I mean, you got the app value though. I be getting mad, man. He said, $35,000. Man, I give your ass $10,000.
Offset's sneaker collection is crazy.
They go for it every time. Come on with the $35,000.
So basically, Offset is saying that if somebody tries to charge him $30,000 for like an Oregon Duck 4, or excuse me, Oregon Duck 3, or Travis Scott sample 4, he'll say, hey, I'll give you 10 and an Instagram post, which is pretty interesting. Like, I think that's the sign of a hustler, right? You see something that's priced some way, you know you don't want to pay that price, so you try to figure out other ways to create value and trade things to be able to get what you want. Have you guys ever traded anything other than money to get a rare pair of sneakers, or to get a pair of sneakers that you wanted? I'll give you a quick story. So there was a friend, actually, when I lived in Florida for a couple years, I had a bunch of sneakers, and one of my friends, Renzo, shout out to Renzo, we're still friends today on Instagram and stuff like that. He wanted a pair of, I think it was like the white and gray Flint 12s way back in the day, right? And there wasn't really anything in his sneaker collection that I wanted. And also I didn't want to charge him for the sneakers because, you know, we were all young and didn't really have money. So what I told him is, give me 15 CDs and I'll trade you these Jordans. So he gave me like Nas Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt. He gave me like all the gems from his hip hop CD collection. And I traded him a pair of Jordans for like 15 CDs. I don't own the CDs anymore, but I thought that was a pretty fire trade. So I'm just curious if you guys have ever traded anything for sneakers before. Somebody said swing that discount. Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards, those sell for crazy. So if you got like the holographic Charizard, you definitely get a lot of money for that. Got shoes for doing work on a friend's college final. Wow, that's fire. Did your friend pass that final? That's the big question. Did your friend pass that final? Andrew Chung says, all of our parents said Pokemon was a waste of money. Pokemon low-key was like the young version of stocks back in the day. B+. I'll take a B+. I'll trade you some sneakers for you to get a B+ on my college final. That's fire. Don't tell Kennesaw State University. I love it. Everybody's sharing their stories and stuff like that. That's cool. Offset is a super funny and charismatic guy that really does this sneaker thing for real. So that was something funny that I saw on Instagram Live, and I wanted to, share it with you guys. Hopefully we can get Offset on the show and get him to really tell that story about like how much he spends on sneakers and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. Now, my favorite part of the show, we implemented this during Air Max Day for the first time ever. Today is the second deal of the day. Now, I scour the internet. I check for like different prices on what sneakers are selling for and how much they're discounted on. Now, Sneakers and Stuff has the deal of the day with 40% and up off of sneakers, brands such as Jordan, Adidas, Nike, Asics, Puma, pretty much every sneaker brand that they offer. So if you look at the link on the bottom, bit.ly/unds-extra off SNS, it's right there on your screen. It'll take you to the page where all their sneakers are listed. So the code that you need is SNS21, and it'll give you an extra 21% off of sneakers that are already on sale. So some sneakers are on sale for 70% off, 50, 40, 30, and it gives you an extra 21 on top of whatever the sales price is. So you can definitely get a fire deal on some heat through Sneakers and Stuff. So that is the deal of the day. This is my favorite part of the show because I love giving out, gems like that for people. I'm always on a hunt for deals, steals. I'm on eBay every single day trying to figure out like how I can get sneakers that I really love for cheap. So definitely check out Sneakers and Stuff. Shout out to their anniversary. SNS21 is the promo code that you need to be able to get an extra 21% off the top. Yeah, J area. Everyone's always looking for steals, especially during this time in the quarantine. You gotta try to save your money if you can, and if you want to cop something, hopefully it's on sale. Now, before we get into a live Q&A to close out the show, you know, I always love closing out the show talking about the sneakers that I'm looking forward to. Now, some of these sneakers were chosen by the Discord, so shout out to you guys. I always get content from you guys and always care about your opinion and implementing that into the show, right? So we'll check out the very first sneaker that I'm looking forward to, the Ben & Jerry's Nike SB collaboration. This is a crazy, crazy collaboration. The colors are all over the place. You got the animal cow print on the upper. If you look at Ben & Jerry's ice cream jars, they all have cows on them. Then they got the signature colors. And I believe on the tongue, it says Chunky Dunky. So that might be the flavor that this sneaker is inspired by. Definitely drop some fire emojis if you like this shoe. And if you don't like this shoe, definitely drop some trash emojis or thumbs down. Definitely interested in what you guys have to say about this. Would I wear this pair? I would wear them probably once. They're a little too crazy for me to rock on an everyday basis, but I would still flex in a pair of Ben & Jerry's. My favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor is the Tonight Show. Which one is it? Is it the Late Night Show or the Tonight Show? With Jimmy Fallon. Whichever show Jimmy Fallon is on, I love that Ben & Jerry's flavor. Fire. I get it at least like once or twice a week. The Tonight Show, the Late Night. Somebody said Tonight Show, somebody said Late Night. But whichever one it is, Jimmy Fallon has the fire flavor. Americone Dream. Okay, Nate Frost, I see you. There you go. BBDX Diaz says it's called the Tonight Dough. Fire flavor. Cherry Garcia. That's funny. Super dope pair of shoes. There's no release date on them yet, but you could definitely probably expect them this year because you can tell by like the colored Nike box that it comes in. That's for this year. So we're gonna get into the very next shoe. Shout out to everybody who loves the Ben & Jerry's. The next shoe that we're looking forward to is the Travis Scott Nike Dunk SB sample. Now, we don't know if this is actually ever releasing or if it's just, you know, Travis Scott has a ton of friends and family pairs that he'll never release. This was the sample to the first SB that he dropped. Now, Nate Frost jumped in real quick and said Travis Scott can keep those. He thinks they're not really that fire. I think these are fire. Like, this is more subtle, kind of, than the one that released with the bandana print. Personally, I don't wear bandana print because where I come from, people look at you crazy if you wear bandana on anything. So I try to stay away from bandana stuff, no matter how fresh it is. But this kind of reminds me of like the Supreme original Dunk Low, but Travis Scott's way. And I think that's crazy. Wesley said he rather Jordan and Nike drop the purple Jordan 4 rather than this SB. I'll be honest with you, I love the purple 4, but I would rather this shoe for sure. A-game, you're not feeling these? You said no? You're not feeling these? Okay. Galan says, I prefer the Sakai's. Shout out to you. Sakai's are fuego. Chavez says needs these for real. Reminds me of the Joker. I just love like the texture of the laces. I love the print. I'm a huge fan of suede and nubuck. So anytime you put a suede or nubuck shoe in front of me, I'm going to love it more than anything. So shout out to those materials. I love how many comments we're getting. This is bananas. I'm excited to see what that final number is going to be like. All right, cool. So we talked about the Travis Scott Dunk SB sample. Now it's time to move on to the very next and last shoe that we're looking forward to. And this is the Adidas Parli Ultra Boost Uncage. This is a very slight flex, but I did have the original first ever sample Parli Adidas Boost way back a few years ago, and it looked exactly like this. And ended up selling it just because I'd rather put that money in my savings account. But I'm glad they're finally dropping it to the public. This was the very first shoe that Parli and Adidas did together. And basically what Parli does is it collects it recycles plastic directly sourced from the ocean. So they try to save the oceans, and this collaboration with Adidas, I believe they use something like 12 plastic bottles per pair of shoes for these. So I think this is super dope. Obviously, I had the shoe and I thought it was fire, so I'm glad it's coming out to retail. And I'm definitely going to be purchasing this shoe. I know Ultra Boosts are not that hot right now, but I don't go based off of like what's hot and what's not. This is a fire shoe. It just looks crazy. Every time I used to wear these outside, people would always stop me and be like, yo, what are those? So definitely a neck breaker right here for sure. I don't know. I think retail price might be like somewhere in the 180s to 220s, but they might go on sale. Who knows? But again, this is super fire shoe. Are you guys kind of tired of Ultra Boost, or like what's your vibe? Are you guys not really excited about Adidas and Boost anymore? Travis says, I need the government check to hit so he can cop. Now that is a fact. That is a fact. Our stream has gone so long, like it's getting dark out here. So we're about to wrap up here in a second. I'm gonna read a few last comments, and then we'll open up for live Q&A. Let's see. Kicks, your name is so tough to pronounce. Kixoso said, Adidas pushed out way too many Boost colors. I mean, good. If they were all good colors, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but a lot of them, in my opinion, were not great colors. Boost is still good. So I was actually in my storage reorganizing and stuff like that, and I have literally 2 duffel bags full of dead stock Ultra Boost. To me, is one of the greatest sneakers ever. And I know when I'm older, like in my 50s, 60s, 70s, I'm going to be wearing Ultra Boost because they're mad comfortable. So I definitely have 2 bags stashed full of dead stock Ultra Boost. So I still rock Ultra Boost. Dre, when am I having another closet sale? Stay tuned. I'm saving something special for the last episode, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So no more closet sales for now, but stay tuned to the last episode of the season, and we're going to do something special. So trust me. Mark says, thank you for posting hints on the LeBron watch. Oh, for sure. I actually still have that sneaker, just so you guys know. So I think it was last spring or summer, I forget. I was working with Foot Locker. It wasn't last year, was it? I forget. My years are all crazy. But when LeBron first came to LA Lakers, Nike created the LeBron King Court Purple. And I basically took people around Santa Monica and gave them hints on how to cop this exclusive LA shoe. So Nate Frost says, I'm a father. I think it's illegal not to have Monarchs. That's definitely the next shoe I'm a cop. Shout out to Monarch Gang. Shout out to Dad Gang. I'm going to show you guys this LeBron King Court Purple real quick. I just have like random shoes just like laying under my bed. Hold on one second. There we go. Get some more light for you guys. So this is the LeBron King Court Purple, super fire shoe. I love the purple. I love the animal print on the back. But yeah, I still have these dead stock. So shout out to Mark, who had mentioned that. I almost forgot about doing that, but yeah, these are super dope. I love like this detail right here. That gold embroidered swoosh. Fuego. I better UNDS those. I'm actually probably gonna give these away. I'll be honest with you. Really great sneaker to look at, super dope, but not my style. Not something I would wear. So that's why I haven't worn them. I'll probably give them away. So I appreciate you for wanting me to UNDS them, but I'd rather give them to somebody so they can be UNDS'd. Size, I'll announce the size when the giveaway drops. So we'll see. Angelito says, how many sneakers I have? I used to have a ton, like over maybe like 250, 300, but I've sold everything ever since we've been expecting my first child in, which she should be due soon, like in the next 2 weeks. I sold everything just to make space. So I really don't have that many sneakers anymore. Unfortunately, it makes me sad every single day, but I gave it up for a greater purpose. Name, I haven't dropped the name of the baby yet. You guys will hear that soon. I'm still kind of going back and forth on like how much I do want to share about my child, just because I don't know, like I want to respect her privacy as well. You know what I mean? It is a girl, so I will confirm it's a girl. And since we're speaking about my daughter before we wrap up, I want to do a sneaker parent special episode. I want to plan it hopefully definitely after we give birth. Like I said, we're due like in a few weeks, so it could be tomorrow, it could be in 2 weeks, it could be in 3 weeks. But I definitely want to plan it after, and I want to get some advice from other sneaker parents. I want to get a whole bunch of different parents in the chat and really have a conversation about, you know, that shift between being a sneakerhead for yourself and then being a sneakerhead for your kid. So, and I have a lot of really cool stuff to show you guys in terms of what I have for my daughter. So that'll be really cool. I appreciate you guys for caring enough to ask about her. I'll give you guys updates whenever she does come. Let's open up the chat for some live Q&A, because I'm about to cut out maybe like in 10 minutes. You guys have been rocking with me for almost 2 hours now. This is bananas. So shout out to you guys for rocking me for 2 hours. Walshy rocked out with us for an hour and then some. Let's get some live Q&A. I'll answer some questions and then we'll go from there. So let's get it. How was working with Foot Locker? Working with Foot Locker was dope. You know, they believed in my idea. I created their first ever sneaker show, and I did it on a platform that no one does a sneaker show on, which is Instagram Story, because I believed in the interactivity that Instagram Story has, and it's in people's phones already, and like they use it. So yeah, shout out to Foot Locker for believing in my ideas. And, you know, I was able to take that show, the idea and concept of that show, and evolve it into creating UNDS. There would be no UNDS unless I created a show last year on Instagram Story. And again, the focus was always interactivity and figuring out how we can get people to feel like they're all talking to each other. And Caffeine happened to be the perfect platform to do that. So yeah, for working with Foot Locker was dope. What's my go-to clothing brand? I'll be honest with you, my go-to clothing brand is, I'm not really like big on brands, but my go-to brand is Supreme, and not because of hype, but I'm from New York. Supreme is from New York. I'm not a fan of the Knicks. I'm not a fan of the Yankees. I'm not a fan of any New York sports. I am a fan of New York's skate team, which is Supreme. So anytime I wear a Supreme logo, which is pretty often, to me, that's me repping New York City. It's not repping hype, culture, or streetwear. This, if anybody knows what Supreme is about at its core, then they'll know that I'm repping New York at the end of the day. But otherwise, anywhere that has the deals, thrift stores, you know, obviously you got my Dragon Ball Z t-shirt from Urban Outfitters. Shout out to Urban Outfitters. But yeah, that's my go-to brand if I had to choose one. Favorite Supreme piece, I think, I forget what year, maybe 2006, 2007. They did a black Pirates hat remix that said Supreme, and it had a little cocktail on the back. So that's my favorite piece that they've ever done. I'll take, let's see, 650. I'll take 2 more questions. Need the Nike sandwich. No, I didn't. I woke up too late today to cop anything from the Supreme Lambo collaboration. What's my sneaker rotation now? Well, being that the only time I step outside is to walk my dog Henny. Let's see. These are definitely always in rotation. Cactus Plant, Flea Market, Blazers, always. You can see how beat up they are. I'll wear these all the time because they're so easy to slip on. I got my, let's see where they at. I don't know where they're at, but Louis Vuitton slippers, Cactus Plant, Flea Market, Puro Platanos, and wow, we spoke so much to Walshy, I totally forgot to like talk about what sneaker I unds today. So I guess that's how I'll leave you guys today. So I appreciate that. Yes, Angelito, those cactus plants are super unds. Now today I unds this pair, Nike Dunk from 2000. Again, if you read my Instagram post yesterday, I'm a huge fan of 1999 to mid 2000 sneakers. I happen to find these for a super crazy price. And yeah, this is a fire shoe. Like, I love the Kentucky blue, but with like that orange. Again, being from New York, even though I'm not a fan of the Knicks, I do love Knicks colorway stuff. And yeah, these are bananas, straight crazy. You can't see the inside tag. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram, but these are from the year 2000. So 20-year-old sneakers, still holding up, still fresh. Yeah, that toe box looks phenomenal. The Dunk shape from 2000, 1999, unmatched. Favorite dunks of all time. I'll show you real quick. I feel bad that I have all these sneakers just laying around in this area. Nike Dunk Supreme Orange. Favorite dunk of all time. These are extremely beat. As you can see, like right here. Right here. Yeah, extremely unds. I love them. This is like my third pair that I beat up every single time. So, but yeah, Grail alert. Thoughts on restoration? Yo, people who restore shoes are fire. I want to try to get a sneaker restorer on the show. I have somebody in mind from Vegas. I always try to show love to the Vegas community because, you know, I used to live in Vegas for maybe about like 6 to 8 years. So definitely want to put on a Vegas restorer who I think is really dope, regardless of that he's from Vegas. But yeah, sneaker restoration is really dope. I just don't have the patience for it. I just rather just get a new pair. If you can put one sneaker in a time capsule, what would it be? Ty Zink. If I can put a sneaker in a time capsule, it'd be white on white Air Force One. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. With a suit, with sweats, basketball shorts, white on white Air Force One. Put it in a time capsule, take it out in the year 4050, and it'll still be the freshest sneaker on the planet, in my opinion. What's the first baby shoe that you're gonna unds for your daughter? That's a great question. I think I'm gonna do a segment of me just running through like her current collection. But any shoe that fits her, she'll be like a crib size, and I only have like so many crib size sneakers, because she'll grow out of them super fast. So we'll see. I don't know. That's a lot of pressure. Wesley 71298. Are you currently working with any brands at the moment? Definitely stay tuned. My biggest focus at the moment is this show. I literally put everything I have into this show, like the graphics. I sit with the UNDS team, and like, you know, we think about guests, we think about the look, the feel, the topics. You know, I definitely want to take a moment to shout out everybody on the UNDS squad. We have Lyric, we have Marissa, we have Sticky. We have everybody from the caffeine side. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are involved in making this show happen. Shout out to Parker. Like, there's a lot of people who make this show happen, and it requires a lot of my attention. Again, I'm also having a baby very soon, so like I can't put my focus on too many things because family is the most important thing. But yeah, this show is my huge focus. Like, last night I was up creating graphics for this episode. So, you know, hopefully you guys appreciate the effort, and we're always going to try to give you a better show every single week. Angelito, who's your favorite? Or Angelito says, who's my favorite guest? I love all the guests. Honestly, I don't have a preference. Like, you know, I want to sit with people who you guys wouldn't expect to hear from. Like, for those of you who are Major Lazer fans, never heard of Major Lazer, maybe you'll look up on YouTube, see who Major Lazer is. But no one would ever expect Walshy Fire to go an hour deep on sneakers. You know what I mean? I know him like that, so I know he's capable, but I love that stuff. Our first guest, Mercedes Lewis. First guest, always super special because that was only one person to be that first one. He was super dope. Sharif O'Neal was fire. We had Air Mag Nose on the weekend stream, super dope guest. So like, yeah, I think everybody has their own unique individual, you know, thing that makes them stand out. And I appreciate everybody as a guest, honestly. Very pleasantly surprised. Walshy was an awesome guest. He's a great guy. That's what I'll say. The dude is amazing. You know, like I said, I'm a huge fan of their music. So to see that they're just as much of a fan of what I put out, and you know, they've always shown me respect and love, and the feeling has always been mutual. So it was cool to be able to collaborate with Walshy in this capacity. It was nuts. Will there be BTS content? Well, being that I film at home, there's very limited BTS content. But I'm just trying to, like, again, we're trying to figure it out. We're supposed to be filming in a studio every single episode, but you know, with these live streams, we don't get that opportunity because of the quarantine. So, you know, just trying to figure it out. Usually the whole staff is on deck at the studio. We have somebody doing BTS, we have somebody shooting Polaroid, all those type of things, but I don't have all those hands on deck to be able to create the content while I'm in front of the camera. So yeah, we're gonna try to make it work. Yo, Chris, tell Radis I said what's good and tell him to continue to post on Instagram because his photography is fuego. Oh my God, Wesley. Sorry, I keep choosing Wesley's question, but any UNDS merch coming? Honestly, that's on you guys. If you guys demand UNDS merch, you know, stickers, t-shirts, all that stuff, just let me know. Drop it in the Discord, comment on Instagram, go crazy. Let us know what you want, and you know, we'll do our best to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I think that I always look forward to rewarding you guys for engaging in the chat and always being so thoughtful and being a part of this show. So anything we can do to make you guys feel, you know, prideful about repping this show, whether it be merch, hats, whatever the case is, let me know what is the first merch product we should drop, and we'll try to line that up. I'm a sock guy, so I'm very partial to socks. If we do an UNDS sock, I need like 1,000 pairs. Embroidered socks. If anybody has a sock plug, let me know. Beat me to it again. Hockey socks. Yeah, you guys are still burning the chat. All right, cool. It's currently on my side of the world is 6:58. Caffeine team, they gotta go eat. I gotta go eat dinner. Definitely appreciate you guys for hanging with me for 2 hours. 2 hours. I'm gonna drop details about that live watch party for tomorrow with the ESPN NBA Players 2K tournament. So definitely turn on your notifications on the UNDS Everything Instagram so you guys don't miss that. And again, I'll leave you guys with details on the giveaway. 48 hours after this stream is over, we'll be choosing 3 winners. 3 winners for the Sakai Nike waffle. All you had to do was engage in this chat. Make sure you're following myself at Ray Polanco Jr. and Undeadstock on Instagram. Make sure you're following us here on Caffeine as well. And yeah, looking forward to giving away 3 pairs. I definitely want to make sure that we include more of women's and men's selection. Sometimes I choose sneakers that don't go lower than like a size 8 or something like that. I'm going to be more mindful of that and making sure that, you know, the women who watch the show can also partake in the giveaways, because you are special and important as well. Size 8. Yeah, shout out to the ladies. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Ray Polanco Jr. It's time for me to eat. Shout out to you guys again. 2 hours. Mad respect. Shout out to Walshy Fire. I'm going to start dropping the replays of the episodes on YouTube so you guys can binge watch before the next episode 5. Yeah, let's get it. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Ray Polanco Jr. Peace.